When your muscle contracts, the myosin heads must make contact with the actin. For every myosin head that makes contact with the active site on actin, it needs to carry out the power stroke. If you remember, 1 ATP is used for every power stroke. There are many myosin heads in a single myosin molecule. There are many myosin molecules in a single sarcomere. There are many sarcomeres in a single myofibril. There are many myofibrils in a muscle fiber. There are many muscle fibers in a muscle fascicle, and there are many muscle fascicles in a whole muscle. So think about the amount of ATP the muscle needs for a single muscle contraction. So the energy needs of a muscle are staggering, especially when you exercise. So let's say that you're just starting out, you're going to exercise. When you start out, you might have some ATP already available in the sarcoplasm. So this free ATP is used at the beginning of your exercise regimen. Then you keep running. Let's say you're running and you need more ATP. Now you've run out of all your ATP. You have to rely on another molecule called creatine phosphate. Creatine phosphate is already available in the muscle. It provides the phosphate to ADP. ADP is adenosine diphosphate. It picks up that phosphate from creatine phosphate and becomes ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate. So you've got some creatine phosphate. Let's say you run out of that as well because you need lots of ATP. So now your muscle will break down glucose to provide pyruvic acid. This portion is glycolysis and it takes place in the cytosol of the muscle, which means that this is anaerobic as well. There's no oxygen present and you only make a small amount of ATP. You use that ATP for your energy needs. This pyruvic acid also gets converted to lactic acid. That's not a good thing because lactic acid can make your muscles feel sore. And lactic acid causes another problem. It creates oxygen debt. This means you need lots of oxygen to convert all this excess lactic acid in the body to be converted back to pyruvic acid so that pyruvic acid can continue into the aerobic respiration. For the time being, some of the pyruvic acid is still converted to acetyl-CoA and enters the aerobic respiration, and you get energy to complete your exercise. But you still have all this lactic acid in your blood, creating oxygen debt. And that debt can only be repaid when you rest, which is why sufficient sleep is very important to pay off this oxygen debt and feel refreshed so that your muscles can enjoy peak performance.